Hello and welcome. Welcome to Chapter 24, Criticism and Judgment of the Facing Your Fears, Turning Fear into Courage. And this is one of my most favorite topics to talk about because it's so important that we learn to change our criticism and judgments about ourselves and about others and about anything on this planet. I truly believe we're all doing the very best we can. And if we start to acknowledge that about ourselves and others, we can be so much happier about this journey called life. Even in spite of the news, some of the things that are going on, we can change our energy so that we are creating solutions to some of the problems. We are creating better lives for ourselves and for others and moving forward. Let's look at this. Criticism and judgment. We're always getting feedback of what feels right, what doesn't feel right. Our bodies give us feedback, our world gives us feedback. And if we're thinking a criticism about another person, it's sending out negative energy that's going to come back to us, to the plants, to everything on the planet. So I talk about, drivers who cut us off on the freeway and it doesn't feel good. And on, just people who do things unconsciously out there driving. I think we see it more. The theory is that how we drive is so much an indicator of who we are on the planet and what our personality is like. And so I see people who are just follow the rules and go very, slowly and cautiously. And then I have friends who are, they're very passionate and they drive fast and they drive passionately and maybe a little aggressively or whatever, but we're all different in the way we drive. So then let's look at that. If we're all different and we're all on this planet sharing the same water, sharing the same air, sharing the same world, how do we not criticize other people? So think of things like I've said, the driving, do I we can be critical, and we learn how to be critical from our families and from the world. That means we can learn to not be critical, because I look at my little grandson, and now I have a granddaughter too. They don't grow up being critical. They grow up just wanting to live and explore and learn and feel things. And yeah, it's just such a genuine energy. But if they hear people criticizing, they start to learn that that's what you do. So let's learn not to do it. Let's learn how, when somebody does something that hurts us, we use the 4 agreements to not take it personally, to not make assumptions about who they are, why they're doing it, to not speak negatively about ourselves or others, and to always try our best. So when I see somebody do something out of unawareness or something that I might normally criticize, I go, I've probably done something where I was unaware, where I've hurt others. I know I have. I've got to forgive others for what they're doing and forgive myself. So anything that you have a sensitive, I don't know, bone about. I know people say, I don't like stupid people. And I'll say, I don't like people who are judgmental. Well, then I'm judging them. So, what are we doing? I don't like power over, but if I use power over anybody else, then I'm just as guilty as anyone else. Sometimes they say nice people are actually using power over by being too nice. So who knows? I mean, we're just trying to make it on this planet and enjoy this gift of life. A really big one is the criticism and judgment towards ourselves. I can guarantee you, if you're judging or criticizing yourself, you're going to be judging and criticizing others. So take a deep breath and look at what you criticize or judge yourself for. I'm not so sure you would criticize and judge others for those things. I imagine you'd be more forgiving for mistakes we make, for having blinders on at times, for maybe being selfish. I think we have a tendency to be a little bit selfish because it's this world of survival. So we want to make sure we have oxygen before somebody else does. Anything that we're doing that feels like it's not good for us, we can change. If we're getting that feedback, we can change that behavior, we can change that thought. And anything that doesn't hurt others and makes us feel happier about our lives, I think it's a good thing to keep going in that direction. And I think it's a process of allowing ourselves to be free, to be everything we want to be while we're here. visitors on this planet. I'm starting to get it at such a deeper level that we are visitors for whatever number of decades we're here, and we're given so many things as far as opportunities and resources and experiences and people and animals and nature, that let's enjoy it. Let's stop the criticism. Let's stop the judgments of ourselves, of others. And let's work together to make our journey a great experience. Let's work together to make the experience of everyone on this planet a much more positive one, with a future that looks hopeful, that we can be excited and passionate about. Criticism and judgment. It's the challenge of this week. Every time you find yourself even thinking a thought like that toward yourself or others, you're going to want to stop and say, I can think something different. Because if you think something different, everything about your world will change, not only inside, but outside. Can you do this? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Let's do it together. So thank you so much for joining us for chapter 24, Criticism and Judgment, Facing Your Fears, Turning Fear into Courage. We'll do this together. Thank you.